A month ago, the game that you are currently looking at was dead. I don't mean this in a hyperbolic sense where the developer put out a dodgy update that nobody liked. I mean there literally wasn't enough people playing this game to fill a single server. The game is called Battalion 1944 and is a throwback to the older Call of Duty games. It's brilliant, it's fast-paced, the guns feel satisfying to use, the movement is snappy and the maps are chaotic arenas of carnage. But it's a few years old now, and like many multiplayer games before it, was unable to pick up any kind of dedicated community. Personally, I think the game tried to cater too much towards the competitive crowd. The ones that didn't play Modern Warfare, they played the pro-mod version of it. The ones that played Search and Destroy. For me, I can't think of anything worse. In my mind, this is not what Call of Duty is about, and it's not what it was about for, dare I say, the majority of players back in the day. It's far too slow and methodical. It's boring to wait for the next round every time you die. I know there are a lot of people that swear by this mode, but I just don't get it. Plus, it's not 2007 anymore. If you want to make a competitive game, it needs to be a competitive game. You're up against the likes of Counter-Strike, Valorant, and Siege. All of these games have already existing communities of players. They've already filled their niche that you're trying to break into. Not just that, but in today's age, expectations have gone up a bit. You can't just throw a game out there and call it a day, you have FACEIT to contend with. You'll probably have to host a few esports tournaments as well, stringing updates and balance patches along the way. You'll need a battle pass. An indie developer is just not going to have the resources to do all of this. I think it's why the biggest competitive games we see at the moment are all backed by big companies, and even then it can take a few years before you see any growth. So why not go the other way? Appeal to the arcade crowd. Leave the competitive community to play the games they already play, and instead fill a void from a decade ago that has been left behind. I love Team Deathmatch. It's a fast, fun way of switching my brain off for half an hour or so. It's low commitment. If something comes up halfway through play, I can just leave. It's low stakes as well. If I lose the game, who cares? I don't have much impact towards the final scoreline anyway. If I want to stick on the latest episode of PixelLit while I play, then I can do that in a way that I never could for an ultra-serious, sound-dependent game of Counter-Strike. But where has the mode gone? What happened? If I want to play a game of Team Deathmatch right now, any game at all, any game I want, what choices do I have? Call of Duty has gone down a dark path beyond recognition. The Battle Royale genre is still going strong. Battlefield is enduring a rough patch right now, to say the least. If I want to play a nice quick round of Team Deathmatch, where do I go? Battalion is the perfect Team Deathmatch game. There are no other games out there at the moment unless you really want to face off against the last remaining Black Ops 2 players. If I'm right, if there is a demand for a casual arcade-style Team Deathmatch multiplayer shooter, then Battalion 1944 should have been a rousing success. But for whatever reason, it wasn't. Maybe my theory was correct in that the developers were misguided in going after a competitive audience. Maybe if the developers made one decision over another, it would have all worked out. Or maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe there's no audience for these kinds of games anymore. Maybe I'm alone. Except a while back the game relaunched, free to play. It's called Battalion Legacy now, and it's completely free. No paying for weapons or anything like that. A spark of hope then. For the first time in years, the servers of Battalion 1944 were rife with the sounds of gunfire and explosions. It's got a lot of problems. Matchmaking has been removed alongside many other game modes. The server browser is easily the worst server browser I've ever seen. There's no filtering and it loads all of the servers at once, so this pagination thing is kind of useless. For such a relaxed environment as Team Deathmatch, it sure is difficult to actually get into a game. And the worst problem of all, the spawning system is absolutely comical. Like, look at this. But I honestly don't care. I've played Battalion almost every day since it's relaunched, and I love it. I think it's brilliant. I love figuring out the movement system, how you can jump around corners to be more difficult to hit. I love the maps. These are some of the best maps I've seen in the shooter. They're all great fun to play on. I love the rifle-only mode where people jump around like they're recording a trick shot montage from 2012. I love how different all the guns are, each with their own strengths and weaknesses, to the point where I'm not sure if I could pick a favourite. Despite the cavalcade of flaws, despite the fact that this relaunch was off the back of broken Kickstarter promises, I love this game, which makes it even more painful that my time with it may be fleeting. One of my favourite videos from this year is the one in front of you right now from Chariot Rider. I'll link it below. It's about a forgotten Hong Kong developed puzzler inspired by the likes of Myst called Comer. Yes, that's how you pronounce it. And Kama's basically been lost to time, lost in a sea of other obscure, forgotten games. I was so invested in the story of this game that I actually tried it out for myself. There's an archive.org link to download the game, and then I had to set up an entire Windows 98 virtual machine, taking a whole afternoon in order to get it working. But I did get it working. It worked. I played it and I had an okay time. I'm not really a big Myst guy. The fact that I can do this at all is amazing and is a testament to basically all aspects of digital preservation, from the VM developers to people writing tutorials for this kind of thing to Phil Salvador preserving the game itself. Digital preservation is very important, as I'm sure we're all learning recently. But what about Battalion? The game exists. At the moment I can play it and I don't need like a super old machine to run it. I just need Steam and an internet connection. But the one thing that I do need, the one thing that Kama doesn't need? People to play it with. I don't want this game to die again, but I feel like it might. It's happened before. A giant spike of players on launch and then a gradual descent. You might not notice it happening every day, but eventually people will start to move on. Even now the servers occasionally have to be padded out with bots. I might be being pessimistic here, who knows? Maybe going free to play gives Battalion the push it needs. Maybe this game will have an active, small yet dedicated player base for years to come. Maybe this video will blow up and fans of Team Deathmatch will know that Battalion Legacy is the place where they can get their fix. All I know is that I'm not taking a single round of this game for granted.